Hey everybody, welcome back. I got a little something new here to show everybody. But also, before we get to that, I have still not heard from the giveaway winner. So I don't know how long we should give it, but I'd say at least a week for sure. So I guess stay tuned with that. So we'll see what happens. So moving along though, this is gonna be the White River knife and tool Ursus 45. And I'm gonna coin a new term, or at least try to. I'm gonna call it an FOB-X. First out of box experience. Maybe it'll catch on, I doubt it. But anyway, this is going to be the White River Knife and Tool Ursus 45. Made in America, of course. In Michigan. I should have looked up the town it was made in, but you know what? I sure didn't do it. Oh well. But this has, as you saw there, S35VN stainless steel with a 4.5-inch blade. That's the 45. So the Ursus is actually Latin for bear. So that's where the name came from. And I must say, I've got a few White River knives. Actually, I've got 3 altogether. This is my 3rd one, but the fit and finish on these things is just absolutely outstanding. Little piece of something on the edge there. I didn't get it off. But yeah, the fit and finish on these things is just outstanding. They do a really good job. These guys do, and actually they individually number each one, and that's what that number is there. So this is number 971. I don't know how many they've made to date, but that's what number this is. And that is going to be a black burlap micarta handle. And this is actually going to have, you can see some reflection there. It's kind of a high polished. So you can see some tomahawks hanging on the wall there. American flag, but it's going to have a high polished, stone washed finish. It might be kind of hard to really get a good look at it with the lighting the way it is, but beautiful. So they do say that this is considered a bushcraft knife. So due to that, it does have a sharpened spine on it. Although one thing White River does, which is really kind of neat, they don't start the sharpened edge until about right in here. That way, as you're up on the blade or whatever, it's not sharp right there, or if you got your thumb on it, that area right there isn't sharp. The sharpened part, like I said, it starts, right back in here just after the logo. And down here, it's also not sharpened. Now, why they didn't go the full length, I don't know. My guess is they don't want you really scraping around on anything that close to the edge. That's the only thing I can come up with. It makes sense. So, the feel of this knife in hand is just amazing. Up into this point, the best feeling knife in hand wise, I would say, had to be the Bark River Bravo series, at least for me. Which, I mean, that is an excellent feeling knife there. But for some reason, this one just feels a little bit better. I don't know exactly what it is. Maybe it's the difference between this not being polished micarta and this being polished. I don't know if that's the difference or what the difference really is on why one feels so much better than the other one. I mean, like I said, this Bark River feels great, but it doesn't feel as good as the other. It's just pretty strange. I mean, they're definitely very similar in shape. You know, not the same, obviously, but pretty darn close. And they're both going to have a high saber grind, whereas the Bark River is actually a convex. This is actually a V grind, which is very interesting, but I love it. It actually reminds me a lot of, you know, like say Survive knives. It reminds me a lot of that, and I really like the look of that design and that style. So then it also, this one in particular, you can get them with leather or Kydex. This one came with Kydex and came with the dangler and all. Now, this little bit of leather here, I added that on there because when I got this thing, this sheath was so tight. Like, you didn't have much trouble going in, but it was the coming out, and they didn't put much of a ramp on there. Like, it was curved out a little bit, but it was just this thick, you know, just the two pieces of Kydex thick. So putting your thumb against that to pull it out hurt really bad, and it was almost impossible to get out to begin with. Kind of like the BK2, how they did, which that's not Kydex, but same theory, same thought, you know, that's how they did that. So I just did not like it. So I definitely had to remedy that, but I think that was a pretty good remedy. To me, it looks like it was supposed to have been there all along. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure you guys will let me know if you don't think so. So here, I went ahead and grabbed another few more bushcraft knives just to kind of compare there. Obviously, this is the Mora Companion HD. And this Ursus on it, the thickness here, let's see, what was that? It was like 5/32, so it was a little over 1/8 of an inch on that. So, but anyway, there's those two. Here's a neat one that you probably don't see every day. If I can get it in my hand here. So there is a Spyderco Bushcraft UK. And of course that's going to have the 01 tool steel with a true Scandy grind on it. So there's that. And of course it's sharpened as well. It appears to be just a little thinner than the White River. Let's see, what else do we have? Here's one you've seen on the channel before, I'm sure, the Bark River Gunny Scandy. Of course, it's a lot smaller of a knife, obviously, although the thickness isn't really much different. It's just a hair thinner maybe, but not by much. So, C-Tech handles on that thing. Really like that knife. That one's kind of a hard one to get. I just kind of got lucky and happened into that one, basically. And then here's the good old Benchmade Puco, the 200 Puco, with the CPM 3V. Big difference in size there. Although this Benchmade feels great, but this one feels better. It just, to me, it feels like it was made for my hand. But so anyway, since this is only going to be an FOBX, first out-of-box experience, we're just going to kind of play around with it a little bit. Obviously, we're not going to do anything serious since you can see we're at my desk. So, sharpness on this thing, it is very sharp. I mean, it's just absolutely shaven sharp out of the box. They do a really good job on it, and from what I understand, of course, they sharpen it, but then they also strop it, from what I understand. And it definitely shows. And also, their presentation is very nice. You've got a nice wooden box with a slide top. Pull that out of there. With a slide top. And inside comes with this, the information card. That's actually handwritten, which is pretty cool. Definitely don't see that very much. So that's pretty awesome. Now, price-wise, of course, these things aren't cheap. Right now, you know, they're going in the neighborhood of $250-ish, you know, plus or minus. So, you know, maybe you can find a deal on them. I don't know. Like I said, I just happened to come across this one, and I'd had my eye on it for a while anyway, and came across it, and I just had to do it. So, but anyways, I guess that's that. I basically just kind of wanted to show that to you guys, and also, you know, mention that we had not heard from our giveaway winner yet. So definitely need to get a hold of me. Pay no attention to the lanyard here. So yeah, definitely get a hold of me on that. And I guess if I don't hear from them, guys, I guess we'll do a redraw. So I guess just kind of keep up with things, and we'll see how things go. So until the next one, you guys have a good one.